In the headlines of this hour on VTV News, business dialogue between Vietnam and Indonesia fosters high-level exchanges. And later on, QUANG border guards bring late joy to people in border areas. And in our world news, the US to respond if Houthis continue to attack.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good afternoon. It is currently 3 p.m. local time and you're tuning in to 30 minutes of VTV News. I'm Dylan Lei with the latest updates. Now, as part of Indonesian President Joko Widodo's state-level visit to Vietnam, Prime Minister Phie and President Joko Widodo jointly led the Vietnam-Indonesia high-level business dialogue on Saturday morning. President Joko Widodo highlighted the shared vision of both countries to become high-income nations by 2045 and emphasized the importance of enhanced dialogue and high-quality cooperation. Prime Minister Phie also urged businesses from both nations to prioritize collaboration in emerging sectors such as digital transformation, green transformation, and the circular economy. He further encouraged cooperation in the areas of halal food and agricultural production to ensure food security, as well as mutual support in participating in the global supply chain. Deposit interest rates are experiencing a significant decrease, with rates as low as 1.7% per year for a 2-month term at many commercial banks. The highest recorded deposit interest rate is at 10% per year at PVcom Bank. However, this rate is only applicable if the deposit balance is $81.6 million or more, with a term of 12 to 13 months. Generally, for 12 to 13-month terms, banks' deposit interest rates usually fluctuate between 5% and 5.6% per year. Since the beginning of the year, 13 banks have consistently reduced their deposit interest rates. FPT Corporation has recently become the first Vietnamese tech firm to generate $1 billion in revenue from software exports. This revenue primarily comes from the Japanese, American, and Asia-Pacific markets, which have collectively grown over by 30%. Specifically, the Japanese market has seen a remarkable increase of 54%. FPT's information technology services in foreign markets have advanced significantly in the technology value chain, with digital transformation services accounting for 50% of total foreign revenue. This achievement has contributed to positioning Vietnam as the world's second largest destination for software exports. The conflict in the Red Sea is causing shipping companies to adjust their schedules, resulting in increased shipping costs and additional fees. The Ministry of Industry and Trade has warned businesses and associations about these implications. Import-export companies are actively searching for strategies to mitigate disruptions and ensure the smooth flow of goods.
For this enterprise, over 20% of goods exported to Europe under FOB price contracts are being disrupted due to increasing freight rates. Businesses need to find ways to minimize the impact, such as maintaining regular communication with customers, collaborating with trusted logistics providers, and purchasing insurance to mitigate risks.
As a supplier, we encounter difficulties, just like our customers do. We work with them to address these challenges. Depending on the relationship with our customers, we have different plans to resolve issues.
Meanwhile, the majority of goods from maritime enterprises are being impacted by the conflict in the Red Sea area. Shipping costs are increasing daily, posing challenges for businesses, as export orders are primarily based on the cost and freight (CF) terms, where the seller is responsible for paying the freight.
It is necessary to have risk insurance to avoid losses of goods or losses due to objective factors. Businesses should keep customers and try to expand operations to China, a market with suitable geography.
Data from several US and European shipping companies indicates that shipping rates from Vietnam to these markets range from $4,000 to $4,500 per container, with additional surcharges of approximately $1,500 to $3,000 per container. These rates have a significant impact on various import and export sectors, including wood, aquatic and agricultural products, textiles, footwear, and electronic products.
Businesses are advised to share this cost with partners and extend the delivery time to February and March. They should select markets that do not require shipping goods across the Red Sea to reduce some of the burden and wait for other markets to recover.
Businesses have also proposed that the Ministry of Industry and Trade implement solutions to support them during this period. These solutions could include reducing logistics costs, warehousing fees, and seaport infrastructure fees.
Vietnam's seaport system has a significant advantage with its 3,200 kilometers coastline, surpassing other countries in the region. It also benefits from sea routes that connect international shipping between the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. Currently, Vietnam has 296 ports, covering a length of approximately 106 kilometers. The establishment of inland ports, combined with international transshipment, has enabled Vietnam to create numerous transport routes from these ports.
A fleet of 40 transit barges, with each barge capable of holding up to 120 containers, contributed to an impressive output of nearly 600,000 TEU in 2023. The port, strategically positioned between deep-water seaports and inland ports, plays a vital role in the regional and international trade and logistics network. Located in a convenient geographical position, Dong Nai Port facilitates the transportation of goods along the river, connecting deep-water seaports in Bà Vung Tau and Ho Chi Minh City.
We've reduced the transportation time from Dong Nai Port to international destinations by 80%. Our efficiency shines as we swiftly transfer goods to the transshipment ports of Bà Vung Tau upon their arrival, giving us a significant advantage.
Vietnam has 296 seaports that are strategically aligned with the country's transportation system planning. These seaports are designed to create advantageous connections for efficiently transshipping goods both domestically and to neighboring countries.
We have synchronized plans with roads, railways, and inland waterways, leveraging our 3,200 kilometers coastline. Special focus is given to enhancing the north-south transportation route, providing crucial support for both roads and railways.
Predictions indicate that by 2030, the output of goods through Vietnam's seaport system will be 1.6 to 2.1 times higher than the current level. By 2050, it is expected to increase to 4.1 to 4.8 times higher.
The improvement of processing capacity, particularly for exported seafood products, is a concern for central coastal localities. However, in order to enhance the value of seafood products, it is necessary to implement multiple reasonable solutions and foster cooperation among authorities, businesses, and processing facility owners.
In 2023, the estimated raw material production for aquatic products in Quang Tri Province was about 30,000 tons. To enhance their value, Quang Tri Province has directed functional sectors to create value chains that span from raw material production to processing and consumption. This creates a connection between businesses and producers and aims to increase productivity to meet the needs of both domestic and foreign markets.
Applying technology to transform aquatic products from raw processing to deep processing involves associating them with brand building, labeling, and traceability to ensure compliance with international certification standards.
Quang Nam Province also has a mechanism in place to support small and medium-sized enterprises and startups. This mechanism aims to provide a favorable starting point and expedite the entry of local seafood into the market.
We're focused on product output, aiming for more than just exporting raw materials. Our goal is to encourage businesses and production facilities to process their products further, adding greater value for both domestic and international markets.
Quang Nam seafood is currently being exported to demanding markets such as the US, Europe, and Japan. This is a positive development for local businesses. To establish a sustainable seafood processing industry, Quang Nam needs strong leaders who can guide the way, ensuring high income from export turnover and long-term viability for the sector.
Despite a rise in global economic uncertainty, Vietnam shipped 1.61 million tons of coffee abroad in 2023, earning $4.18 billion, which is an increase of 3.1% in value year on year. However, Vietnam's coffee exports are expected to continue facing challenges this year due to a slowdown in global economic growth. It has forced domestic coffee companies to map out plans to maintain the current momentum.
This company is well known for its high-quality coffee. Its coffee has been exported to more than 100 countries. Every year, the company exports about 80,000 tons of coffee, 65% of which is exported to the EU market. Since the end of 2023, the company has entered into contracts with new markets, helping it reach more consumers and increase sales.
In 2023, the sales growth rate reached about 25% as our coffee is exported to new markets such as the Middle East. Drinking tea is a traditional habit in Arab countries, but now, young people prefer drinking coffee. In addition, we're planning to export our coffee to the United States.
The Vietnam Coffee and Cocoa Association expects member companies to obtain organic farming certifications such as the Rainforest Alliance or the UTZ certification program to maintain the current momentum.
Farmers, cooperatives, and businesses have improved the quality of coffee by switching to organic farming methods. Thanks to their joint efforts, Vietnamese coffee has become popular worldwide.
Vietnam's coffee exports are expected to face many challenges in 2024. In addition, as the EU's new law on deforestation starts to apply on December 30th this year, EU markets will ban products made from forest degradation-inducing wood. The EU's new regulations will greatly affect Vietnam's coffee production and exports.
When the new law takes effect, Vietnamese coffee companies must have the necessary documents showing that their coffee is not grown in deforested lands. EU markets will ban companies that do not meet their requirements.
The EU's deforestation law will benefit coffee farmers and companies as it raises public awareness about environmental protection. This way, Vietnamese coffee will reach more consumers in other countries.
With a total area of 650,000 hectares, Vietnam's coffee export revenue is expected to hit $5 billion this year, making it the world's second largest coffee supplier. Domestic companies should improve their coffee quality, restructure operations, and foster transparency and responsibility to maintain the current momentum.
Coming up next on VTV News. Quảng Ninh border guards bring Tết joy to people in border areas. And later on, Rice Paper Craft Village works overtime to meet Tết holiday demand. Welcome back to VTV News Live. Now moving on to other important updates. The People's Committee of Da Nang City convened a meeting to approve a decision to assist residents facing financial difficulties in the city. The assistance includes providing rent subsidies for state-owned social housing apartments and distributing date gifts to impoverished households. A total of 137 eligible cases have been approved for support, with 44 households being allocated apartments for rent. Poor households will receive a 60% reduction in rent, while households with disabled individuals will receive full rent support or 100% reduction. Border Guard Warms the Hearts of Villagers in Spring is an annual program organized by border guards nationwide. This year, Guangning Border Guard has planned several activities to demonstrate solidarity towards people facing hardships and those living in remote areas. More on this in the following story.
This year, Huet's family has a larger house to celebrate date. The 77-year-old woman lost 3 children and now has to raise her grandchildren on her own. The new house, provided by Guangning's border guard, will help her family have a warm Tết.
I can't say anything except that I'm very happy.
I will strive to work hard in order to improve our quality of life.
Vĩnh Thực Island is located 20 kilometers away from the center of Mong Cái City. The island is home to approximately 600 households. The residents primarily rely on rice cultivation and fishing for their livelihoods. Each household will receive 600 chung cakes, 700 gifts, and 2,000 national flags to celebrate Tết. Additionally, free medical examinations and the distribution of medicine are being conducted.
Every time we organize a program, we receive great support and encouragement from people on the island. After each program, we feel the love and solidarity between the military and the people here.
The strong bond and close connection between the border guard and the people will continue to contribute to the protection of territorial sovereignty and national border security.
There is less than a month remaining until the Lunar New Year. Now, during this time, people in craft villages throughout the country are busy producing goods to serve people during the Tết holiday. Despite working overtime, everyone in Cu Chi District's rice paper craft village remains happy.
According to a representative from the factory, they have been working overtime in recent days to deliver 3 to 4 tons of rice paper to the market daily.
Output during Tết will increase by about 20 to 30% compared to the same period last year. Currently, workers are working overtime by about 2 hours a day to meet Tết season demand.
Phú Hòa Đông Craft Village rice paper products are not only produced for the domestic market during Tết, but also exported abroad to serve overseas Vietnamese.
In October and November, there were only about 10 containers. However, this January, it could be up to 15 containers, and it could reach up to 20 containers in the future. When there are orders, the workers will be very happy.
Here, there are currently about 70 businesses and establishments producing rice paper. Currently, we are preparing for the Tết market. Each day, we have to prepare 70 to 80 tons of goods.
During the Tết holiday, Cu Chi rice paper production establishments are introducing a variety of productions to consumers. Currently, this craft village provides employment for over 6,000 workers. It is one of the 6 traditional craft villages selected by Ho Chi Minh City to participate in the One Common, One Product program.
TripAdvisor has recently announced the 7 best destinations for traveling in 2024 as voted by tourists. Among the 8 million destinations, Ha Long Bay and Sapa are listed as the most famous landmarks. Ha Long Bay secured the 3rd place spot, while Sapa claimed the 5th place. Topping the list is Tokyo, the capital of Japan, known for its harmonious blend of traditional features and modern culture. Seoul, the capital of South Korea, occupies the 2nd spot on the list, offering a mix of skyscrapers and ancient Buddhist temples. The remaining destinations on the list are Palawan Island in the Philippines, Bogota, the capital of Cambodia, Colombia, and Pattaya in Thailand. Guangning is expected to welcome 80,000 tourists in 2024 from 60 international ships registered to dock at Ha Long International Cruise Port. In January alone, there were 13 ships registered to visit the port, bringing nearly 20,000 tourists. In the same year, Guangning Province plans to introduce new products that promote ecotourism, cultural experiences, and healthcare. These include the cultural space of the Zhao Tengyi ethnic group in Uông Bí City, the Ha Long City Tour product, which includes a visit to Hon Gai and explorations of coal mining sites. Showcasing the cultural heritage of a city via projection mapping is an intriguing way to narrate a story and attract tourists' attention. In several major Vietnamese cities, projection mapping shows were hosted at places of historical relevance to enhance their aesthetic, cultural, and social values. Visualization technologies have proved effective in boosting local tourism.
For the first time, people in the central province of Thừa Thiên Huế were treated to a feast of light staged by French and Vietnamese artists. Utilizing cutting-edge 3D mapping lighting technology to cast mesmerizing visual effects on Ngọ Môn Gate, the show spotlighted local landscapes in 4 seasons.
The art show is amazing. The music performances are very good. This is the first time I've attended such a breathtaking art show.
The art show is stunning and beautiful. A large number of locals and tourists came here to enjoy the show.
An Áo Dài show, the place where I was born, was recently held at the Temple of Literature in Hanoi. The show attracted many visitors by featuring projection mapping in the fashion show. Visualization technologies not only brought out the beauty of Vietnamese women in Áo Dài.
The nighttime fashion show attracted many visitors, providing a unique experience compared to other cultural activities during the day.
We used visualization technologies such as XR, 3D mapping, and hologram. These techniques can engage visitors with stunning visual effects.
Visualization technologies have breathed new life into historical landmarks, engaging young people and contributing to cultural heritage preservation. These technologies are expected to bridge the gap between cultures and destinations in ways previously unimaginable.
Coming up next in our world news, the U.S. to respond if Houthis continue to attack. And later on, Russia to respond in kind to any seizure of its assets. Moving on to our world news, U.S. President Joe Biden stated on Friday that there will be further retaliation against the Houthis if the group continues its outrageous behavior, quote unquote. The statement was made during the President Biden's campaign trip to Pennsylvania. Additionally, President Biden expressed his belief that the U.S. and U.K. airstrikes against the Houthis in Yemen did not result in any civilian casualties. On the same day, the United Nations Secretary General appealed to the relevant parties to avoid escalating the situation in the Red Sea area. Meanwhile, Egypt and Saudi Arabia have expressed concerns about the increased military activities in the Red Sea following the U.S. and the U.K. airstrikes on Houthis targets. These two countries have called for joint efforts to reduce tensions in the Red Sea. Now, Russia has issued a warning that it will respond in kind if the U.S. and the West confiscate its assets. The warning came from Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova on Friday in response to Washington's efforts to convince the European Union to support the plan to confiscate Russian assets. Currently, the White House is actively engaging in discussions with the group of industrialized countries, or G7, to legalize the use of Russia's frozen assets worth $300 billion before February 24th. Moscow has prepared a list of Western assets that can be confiscated in retaliation if the G7 decides to confiscate the frozen Russian assets. France has placed an order for 42 new Rafale fighter jets, according to Defense Minister Sébastien Lecornu. The first delivery is scheduled for 2027. This order brings the total number of Rafales purchased to Paris to 234. The $5.5 billion order is for the latest version of the Dassault planes and will provide the French Air Force with modernized operational capabilities. The Rafale is a versatile fighter that can engage in air combat, attack ground and sea targets, conduct reconnaissance missions, and even carry France's nuclear warheads. This announcement marks the first significant purchase under France's military procurement plan for 2024 to 2030, which amounts to 413 billion euros. AI-enhanced binoculars, the Swarovski Optic AX Visio, bring a new level of sophistication to wildlife observation, capable of identifying about 8,000 species of birds. Designed by Mark Newson, these high-end binoculars offer a seamless blend of traditional aesthetics and cutting-edge technology. Let's take a look.
A new pair of binoculars equipped with artificial intelligence unveiled at CES 2024 this week might just give novice birders a bit of extra help in the field. The new AX Visio binoculars by Austrian company Swarovski Optik combines their long history of optical instruments with new video and photo cameras and the expertise of the Cornell Lab of Ornithology. That expertise comes from AI that will look at the bird found in the wild by the birder via the binoculars, and fly through Cornell's Merlin Bird ID app to find and identify the bird.
It's taking an image, taking GPS, so it knows what portion of the world you're in, looking at that image, evaluating it, and then reading out in the viewfinder what the bird species is. Totally cool, which is why we're calling it a smart binocular. It's telling you what you're seeing.
Once the bird is identified, its name will appear on the screen within the lens of the binocular. Taylor said Cornell's app contains more than 8,000 bird species, all accessible in the binoculars. The binoculars also have a mammal mode, which is currently limited to 300 species and is not yet worldwide.
It was actually earlier this summer, I was in Connecticut. I picked this thing up, I put it on there, I took the picture, and it told me Acadian flycatcher, and I went, holy cow, this is doing it, this is really doing it. And it was not really close. It was not a great picture, but it figured it out. And that really got me going, okay, this is gonna work.
The binoculars will run $4,800 US, which Taylor said is a lot of money for birdwatching, but he said it's all about perspective. The binoculars themselves are $2,500 US, and then the new model includes a 13-megapixel camera with a 300mm lens, plus the processing unit and apps.
And now let's have a look at the weather forecast. And that is all that we have for this hour on VTV News. To rewatch our program, you can visit our website or YouTube channel or download mobile app VTVgo for more. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.